Simply Spiked Lemonade, your favorite lemonade brand, now spiked. It's getting juicy.
Follow his motivations. There's a man whose motivations are simple. Yes. Now press weights for 31 pounds. Ciampa! And over the past several months, we've really got to know Ciampa as...
On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Chargers. And off we go from Denver. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. They start the drive with Peterson. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. These two teams getting a couple of late season tilts this year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in week 12. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. They go play action now. Wilson. They'll fire one downfield for Fant. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared. But I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best.
Touchdown, Chargers! A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Chargers 7, Broncos 0.
Now following the touchdown, Richter to kick off. And we'll see a return here. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A.
Let's go.
But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
8 yards to go on 2nd down. Now it's Wilson. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0.
Chargers 21, Broncos 0.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Wilson. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And he brings this one back. It's a pick. Six and a Charger TD. Now the try here for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now.
Chargers 28, Broncos nothing. Sterling Hawk-Richter set to kick off.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. And this passing game, this whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. That one is slant to McLaurin. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rally to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage.
And Peterson, what happened? He lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Can almost see inside his face mask there, the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Now a give to Peterson running right. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
throwing on 3rd and long. Clinton got his man complete over the middle. It's Schmidt.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They give it to Peterson. And a solid run down inside the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers 19.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Here's a screen to Powell. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So that one a disaster. A big loss there with 2nd down coming up. Back to throw. Clinton. He finds his man complete. That's Peterson. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Back to throw again. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick here is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well,
yeah.
Right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again. But I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
No, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. And here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Chargers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off play action. Clinton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone and throw into the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that. Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They run from the pistol with Hillman. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, Herbert. And incomplete on the deep ball. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip, and I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
3rd and long, it's Herbert. He sets to fire deep. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. Second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Herbert. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. A great effort there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And this Chargers offense continues to pour it on. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the route is on here in this first half.
Chargers 42, Broncos 3. Sterling Hoff-Richter set to kick off.
Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. To throw on 2nd down, Clinton. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw, Clinton. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And they'll get to this and down it inside the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning. So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
This is Hillman on 1st and 10. Shifts past him at the 45. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
First down, Chargers.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a throw here, hauled in. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. These two teams, they met in L.A. earlier in the year with the Chargers coming out victorious. So they're looking for the series sweep here in Denver. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. A toss play left. There goes Ronnie Hillman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Herbert. This is Reese on the ground. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 16.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Second down at 5. Back to the running game they go. It's Hillman. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Chargers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we'll see what they opt to do with just 14 seconds remaining until intermission. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Isaiah Rodgers up to make the tackle.
4 yards on the pickup.
So we have reached halftime. Intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
56.
Hillman again. Oh, look at the juke. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 57 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the counter, Ronnie Hillman. Finding some room at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Second and 6. A handoff, Ronnie Hillman. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Herbert on 3rd down now. It's caught. Here's Langford. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Mike, 56, right there, 56. Go. Go.
Throwing quickly, and Herbert completes it. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now a handoff. It's Hillman. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. And this one is right down the middle. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. 2nd and 7. They keep it on the ground. Hillman. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Another carry here for tonight's workhorse. It's Hillman. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
6-yard line. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play, with the score: Chargers 52, Broncos 3.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. On the give, this is their fullback. 6 yards puts them right on the doorstep, but now it'll be 4th and goal. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it?